Welcome to Pet Pics Academy Show. We are going to be introducing you to amazing pet influencers who are going to share with us their secret to success. Expect to meet a lot of big modeling agencies, pet clothing designers, and other pet experts. My name is Vasi, I'm your host and a professional pet photographer, and I'm going to share with you all the tools you need to succeed. I'm going to be giving you great tips about taking pictures, editing your photos, social media, branding, and so much more. So I'm ready for all of us to have a lot of fun, learn a lot, and the most important, capture some beautiful memories you're going to cherish forever. Hi, dear friends. Welcome to today's episode. Again, it's a special day because I have a very dear friend of mine, and you probably have seen her in her Instagram account. Probably you may heard and saw the Snuggit. It's a very special brand, and they design amazing things for furry babies. And I want to welcome Bronwen and her amazing, beautiful furry princess Daisy. Hi there. So nice to see you both. Hello.
Hi, it's so nice to see you and to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm very excited too because friends, our hours difference, it's 3 hours. So honestly, I admire you being able to get ready and be, able to do our podcast at 8 in the morning. I never can make it so early. And you look so beautiful. Look at your hair and everything else, like gorgeous.
Thank you.
I'm model like your girl. Yeah.
I'm a morning person. She's not.
I can see that. And for those of you who are listening to the episode, so Daisy, she's a little furry babe and she's sleeping right now, very cozy with mommy. So she is part of the interview, but she's resting. I guess that's how I can describe it.
Yes, she'll be sleeping. Mommy will be answering all the questions.
Yeah. Well, at least she is here. So can you tell me a little more about your story with Daisy? How both of you found each other?
Oh my goodness, I would love to. So I've been a foster mom for over 10 years for dogs. Typically all small dogs and a lot of senior dogs. And I had Clarence, who is the reason I invented Snuggit at the time, when we got Daisy as a foster, and she came in pregnant and starving off the streets of LA. And she had to have all of her teeth removed because she was eating rocks and garbage. Thankfully, she had a really healthy birth and all her babies got adopted. And so we had her all her teeth were taken out and all her medical needs were met. And there was no interest in her. And she was the sweetest little girl I had ever met. She was just perfect. She didn't make a sound. She just loved love and just wanted to be snuggled. And she ended up having some other health issues. She ended up having some seizures. And I told the rescue, and they were like, there's no interest in her. There's no interest in her. And I thought, as soon as she said that to me, I said, no, there is interest in her. I'm interested in her. She's at home. She's mine. Send me the papers. That's it. The thought that no one wanted her, that there was no interest in this beautiful, special, incredible little girl, it just broke my heart. And I knew she was meant for me. And here we are. I think we're coming up on 5 years together. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What a beautiful story. And I can tell you, it also breaks my heart when people say this doggy. And in fact, I'm actually going to be photographing bunnies in 2 days from now. And some of them are 3 legs and people don't want to adopt them because they're with 3 legs and with red eyes. And I'm like, this is discrimination. It's not fair. They're so cute as well. So it's important. And talking about seizure, actually, you remind me, I never will forget, because you and we talked about also Chico, who is 14 and a half. He has a lot of health conditions, talking about seniors doggies. And I never will forget, I was driving, going to the vet, and he had seizure in my lap. And for those of you, I hope you never, friends, need to experience this. It was one of the most horrible experience in my life. But if ever happens to you, again, I'm not a medical person. I'm just a stupid photographer. But the idea is that if you apply like a coat pack with ice or something cold, you can help the babies a little bit, or at least that was the trick with Chico. So, again, and I mean, I'm sure that Daisy and I, like Daisy and Chico, both of them, she's probably getting also some medications against seizures, right?
She is, yeah. So
Yes,
she's medicated and they're very controlled. And thank
they
God
are.
that they were quite mild. And I found, making sure that you're like they're together, you're holding them, they're safe, they're not falling or hitting their heads, which the Snuggit is also really good for, to keep them just really secure and safe. Um, and actually interesting to kind of segue into this is that we're in multiple veterinary clinics, the Snuggit.
Fantastic.
We're used in veterinary clinics and animal emergency hospitals as well for post and pre surgeries. So it's a really good tool that vets use to really like help with anxiety a lot of the time. But I found it really good for her. Just if a small dog especially is having a seizure, it's really really good to just keep them really close and really safe so they're not hurting themselves as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. How you created such an incredible accessory, slash necessity just to help your girl. And now things are in a good way shifting to helping a lot of people around the world, because it's really amazing. I mean, I was amazed. Uh, I mean, I remember scrolling in Instagram and I found you and I looked at the beautiful pictures and I looked at, you know, the whole conception and working with a lot of local clients and being a furry mom as well of a senior doggy. And then I contacted you in the moment you said, yeah, a lot of seniors doggies furry parents are using us, and I'm like, that makes complete sense. So can you tell me a little more about, because I can see you have a lot of different covers, and I know that people can use them for doggies but also for kitty cats as well. Like, can you tell me a little
Of
more?
course, of course. So they are used for like all pets. So we actually have bunnies as well. We've got bunnies. Someone has a chicken that they use the
Oh,
Snuggit for. I think really just pets in general. And just to touch back onto using it and how we developed it, I actually developed it for my other senior dog who had a very rare neurological muscle disorder. And so this really was born, and then she, I had her in it, and like all my foster dogs loved it. And so it really was born out of a necessity to help senior dogs and to help dogs with any kind of ailments, and also to help me because I had him in baby carriers. I had him in like the full baby Bjorn, and it wasn't working. And so it's really great for senior dogs with special needs. And then that, going into the different colors and fabrics. So the one thing I really wanted to make sure was that everything was machine washable, because as we
yes,
spoke, as we've talked about before, things happen
yes.
all the time, and you just never really know when it's going to happen. So all of our Snuggets are machine washable, no matter what the fabric. So we have vegan ultra suedes, which are my personal favorite. So they're a really buttery, soft, smooth fabric. And we have those in multiple colors. And then we go into the cotton, a bit more breathable, but also very, very secure. So they're very supportive. And then we go into our lightest fabric, which is an organic hemp, and we have bamboo as well. So we really cover like all the bases of having breathability, having things that are hypoallergenic, eco-friendly, soft, cuddly, and like tons of colors. Sometimes I think we have too many, but I love colors. So I would probably have a few more if it was up to me.
No, I
I guess.
think I love it. I think it's fantastic. I never really, and I want to actually thank you for introducing me to this mindset and these opportunities, because I personally will be recommending to some of my clients, but even from the perspective of, being comfortable and the babies being comfortable. And, this is really incredible. And having different covers. I mean, we know that women, we like colors. Our clothing are different
Yeah.
colors. Like you're wearing black today, and I'm wearing like light beige. So I would say for myself, I probably would pick the beige one
I have
because it's,
3 beige.
see, it's because it's a neutral color, and then it's amazing. And I just here want to kind of give some tips for all of those whose babies are a little older. And again, your baby could be young, and I hope that, and I wish that your baby never has any physical problems and etc. But still things happen in life, and it can happen even when you walk them, things happen. And so the idea is, I had a lot of times in my career when I had to photograph babies with a lot of health conditions. Like I never will forget last year, photograph Lucky. Lucky was very, very ill. He couldn't move his legs. They were carrying him. He was a bigger doggy. And so the idea is, when you take pictures of furry kids with some health issues, make sure that you pick the right angle to make the furry kid looks as normal as possible. And the baby was so ill. Lucky he couldn't even stand. Like he got so tired. He had cancer, and his mom and dad take me, because I called them emergency sessions. So we did it like just to do it. Like I moved sessions around just so we can fit to the schedule and etc. They thank me. I saw them actually 2 months ago for the pictures. But that's the idea. It's just don't push the baby. Work with the baby's capabilities, because you don't want to push it. Just give them breaks and find the right angle. That's the key. Just find the right angle. In my case, I had to be on my belly to take the picture. And that was the only way for me to make him look strong, because he wasn't strong. He was very weak. Yes, that was the only way. And his mommy and daddy, they were a bit above me. Like really, they were above me on their knees, so he can actually look at them. He can stand up a little bit more, as much as he could, just to take the last pictures. And then his mom and dad were keeping him in a special way so he can look strong, but he wasn't. And so that's my message to you, friends. And again, some people would say, Bavasi, we want to listen this podcast with joy. And I always try to look at the positive side of life and everything else. But again, there will be a situation when we need to make the best of it. And as long as we know, just a simple thing, change your angle, be patient. That's what matters. I had another one. They brought me her bed because she had a hip replacement. And so again, it was like, my session was 15 minutes. That's it. I couldn't do it anymore because I didn't want to get her too tired. So your creation, it's incredible, because this way they snuggle by mommy or daddy.
Well, and that's the thing. So I wanted to touch on that, because I always get asked, how is my dog supposed to sit in here? Like, what's the right way? Or, a lot of dogs that have, health issues, they have back issues, they have arthritis, they have leg issues. And it's like, well, how do we work with that? And I always say the dog will always tell you how they want to sit. Like the dog will always tell you how they want to sit. And this way, they can go with you in time, in times where, there's a photo session and, you can't get the right angle, or you're not, or it's just a little bit more awkward, or it's not working, or they're holding them in a way that's not working for the photo. Having them like this, just kind of on you, where you can literally move them in any way, around your body or in the picture or with the lighting, it would be a really great option as well.
That's just amazing. I just love it. And so look at, she's waking up for a little bit. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you for giving us your attention, young lady. I love it. So I know that. So tell me a little bit about the pictures, because I love the pictures on your Instagram and also on your website. So what's your magic?
So I love talking about this because I've just been getting so into the photos lately. I just think that photos, they capture these special moments. And for me, that's what it's really about. I really want to see like the love and the happiness and the just the pure joy, that comes from not only the dogs, but the pet parents as well. We have so many amazing clients that are just like absolutely obsessed with Snuggit. And because it brings them joy and love, and like being able to take their senior dog out with them everywhere they go. So we get all sorts of photos. A big thing that I have really been into lately with the photos from like our user generated content is just, I want really like bright and light, I'm really into bright and light. So it's something that really just shows off the dog, and shows off their personality. So I find for me, because we have so many colors and we have so many amazing clients that take photos constantly in their Snuggit, the ones that are really bright, and also nature. I mean, obviously you're the professional for photography. Doing photos in nature can be difficult with all the shadows and the lighting, but I'm obsessed with nature. So anything that's really bright and light, we love. And choosing colors and just getting that right lighting, but really focusing on the model.
Yeah, exactly.
Catching their true nature and joy and their little quirks. I like their little quirks, and her little tongue hangs out a lot. And so light, I think, is really important, and getting that also, like, more of a simple, I don't want to say simple background, but not wearing too many patterns and stripes, and something that's really simple and bold and bright. I love.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you. And I can tell you, I have the saying, less it's more. Because sometimes, and of course, all of us friends, we have different styles of taking pictures. So some of us like to use more props and more accessories. Others, they like their babies a little more plain. Like, my style, regular style, Vasi Studio, clients hire me and I think big. What would go on the wall 30x40 and etc. So typically it's less because it's timeless. But, but I would do the cutesy pictures. But I do agree that the lighting, it's important. And the way you can do it two ways. One of them, it's of course you use a lot of light, so you do it, take pictures in the middle of the day, closer to your biggest window. Like the interview I was doing yesterday, the lady, she said, I have 1 hour in my house, and I know that that's the best time of the day. I have the most daylight, and that's only when I take pictures, unless of course it's cloudy. And so lighting would be really a great deal. And of course, that's where I come in place to help you which ones. But the next thing is going to be editing. Because you can have the darkest photo, and then if you edit it right and you're consistent in your editing, which editing, it's an art. It's the art of you creating, your products. It's everything has, like, even you friends. I mean, you're a doctor, you're in the hairdresser, a dog groomer. Each of us, we have our gifts, but everything you can learn it. That's what it is. And just the question is of how long you're going to learn it. Is it going to take you, like a month or two, or is it going to take you years, and what you're going to sacrifice if you take you a little longer. I don't know. I went too much, but the idea it's possible, doable, and I agree with you.
Well, I love what you said about consistency. Like the consistency with the editing. And I think for us, especially right now, I think for the first year and a half of business, I really didn't know what to do with our photos. And I really used, huge user generated content. But now consistency, keeping everything very fluid and really just, it's so cute.
Yes.
And just making it really like the same, but different, like highlighting the product, highlighting the dog, but keeping everything really fluid and light.
Yes.
So
and I know
with editing for sure.
I just love it. That I do agree. And then again, friends, it doesn't come overnight. It's a process, and trust the process, but it will get there. And again, people ask me, because you mentioned also outdoor lighting. Well, the best time of the day will be different. Of course, we always say it's the golden hours. It's about an hour and a half before sunset, because it depends of the time of the year and where you live around the world, right? Mm-hmm. And again, with a phone, because you and I, we had the conversation, phone or a camera, Vasi. I would like to touch a little more on this, but I do agree it's consistency. And when I look at your Instagram account, and again, friends, just make sure, all the links are going to be in the description. Show your support, share with your friends. And I can see you have puppies and you have different doggies, and just it's amazing. But just consistency of the color scheme of your pictures, it's really a key to have attractive, account in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It doesn't matter what platform. And again, it's not only your Instagram account or your social media, it's the memories. That's what matters. It's like, you had, just it's the memories you have, those pictures. And that I'm big on memories, but I just love them.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you, what do you think, like, In the editing process, do you ever recommend using presets or anything? I don't know anything about presets. I just know that it's a thing. I don't personally use them because I don't know anything about them. But what is, what are your thoughts on them?
I love the question. Thank you so much for it. Okay, so they are called presets for Lightroom, which people can find the mobile version of Lightroom for free. Or, for Photoshop, they're called actions. And in Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, they're called filters. And on our cell phones are filters. So this is the same, just they have different names. What it is, they are already done settings. And when you apply it, all of your pictures would look the same. So it's a personal choice. So some people, they do use. And then if I use, I would slightly tweak them, because every picture is different. When it comes to me and my pictures, and honestly, most of my students inside the PetPix Academy membership and the courses, we don't really use too many presets. The only reason why, it's because the idea is that if you have the opportunity to take the picture right, the idea is that you would spend less than a minute to basic edit on your phone. Wow. That's the goal. I've proven that I teach how to edit videos. I teach how to edit because for the reels and, for your everything, have reels and you have the videos and etc. And you can edit the same way. It's a system. And so I guess that's my superpower. I simplifies everything. But the idea is it shouldn't take you less than a minute, longer than a minute.
I love that. I think you're 100% right. I don't use them myself, but I think I would want to know exactly how to edit properly, right? And not have to rely on something else, because like you said, every photo is different. And even right now, the lighting in my home since we started, is different.
Yes.
Right. And so it's all, yeah, I agree. Okay. Well, thank you for answering that. I was always curious. It wasn't something I've used, but I've always been curious.
Well, I know that I'm excited because you join now the membership, and you're going to see what it happens behind the scene, because we talk about apps. I give back feedback on pictures, and we just talk about social media, reels, videos, you name it, and etc. So we have a lot of fun insight in the community, but it's just really up to you. One thing I want to talk about it, because you have those beautiful things. So very often what happens, friends, is that you have the same two computers, the same two monitors, but with completely different colors. And so when you say pink, and if you see your pink on your phone and I see pink on my phone, that will be different than real life probably. And so and you and I, we talked about it. So my suggestion, friends, it's if you are selling products, you're a clothing designer, whatever else, or if you're purchasing something from someone, even for your own clothes, give a little credit, because it's just the phone settings. Like sometimes even your phone could be on night mode, because, they change colors. And on top of it, I just got a new screen for my iPhone 11. And actually it changes the angles depending how I'm holding my phone. I'm like, that's not right. And we call cut light when it's darkening. So all of those factors. And one thing I always start before you start editing your pictures, it doesn't matter what device or phone, even your computer, make sure you check the brightness of your device.
So important.
And it's simple. It's so simple.
I have to tell my mom all the time. I'm like, Mom, your screen. I'm like, how do you even see anything?
I love it. Well, I also have to throw a joke here. Thankfully, my sister doesn't really listen to all my episodes. Many years ago, I sent her a picture to check it out. And so she said, Vasi, this picture, it's too dark. And I'm like, Moni, why you don't check the brightness of your phone? She checked it. She texted me back, yeah, you're right. It was too dark. I'm like, of course it's too dark. I mean, I better know my craft. It depends. Even if I plug in my computer, I show my clients their pictures in person or virtually, I'm telling them, disregard the colors. You don't see the colors. If you see the dimension on my TV, I show the pictures in the studio and on my computer are different, because the TV has HDR, and it's probably, sometimes you put it on vivid colors for videos.
Yes.
cinematic look. And,
Yeah.
and guess what? And you're going to get a dress for yourself. And you're wondering why the pink, it's not the right pink.
Well, and there's all those photos that have gone viral, right? Of like, what color do you see? Remember there's those, like, I think it was a sneaker. It was like, I see green, I see pink. And like people really saw totally different colors. So it's, yeah, I mean, I could think, I don't know how people deal with that in photos, but I think as far as taking the photos, make sure that all your settings are
Correct.
set properly before you take them. I would say that's a big tip,
Yeah.
especially at night, because my phone automatically sets to nighttime at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'll be in bed, I'm thinking, that doesn't look right. And then I'm like, oh yeah, turn the brightness up.
Exactly. I turn it off. The moment when I got my phone, I turn off the option. So mine, it doesn't. I just manually go and darken and brighten it so I don't wake up my husband in the middle of the night when my phone. But it's legitimate. I would say the only way you can overcome it's through educating people. That's what it is. I tell every one of my clients and my students, and now friends, who are new to PetPix community, that it exists, and so you prepare them, and then at this point it's out of your hands, and regular people wouldn't even notice. They would just question why this is a little different green, but they don't know, they don't know. But PetPix community people are too overeducated. I cannot tell you what.
That's great though. You're doing a lot, like to be able to I think it's really important because these are things that, people want to know. And that, like, even with me starting a business, it wasn't really something that I thought about, there was so much coming at me, and, but I do know that for any businesses, I think your pictures and what you put out there are so important, like if you can have that part right, like to have some really beautiful, high quality pictures that you've taken of your products or, whatever it is that you're doing. I think it's really like, it goes a long, long way. So I think that, like, if someone had have asked me, like, maybe what could I have done better in the beginning, one thing, I think it would have been my photos. I think it would have been having a better flow, and a consistency in my photos, because I just didn't really know, and I just kind of put things out there. So if there was one thing, I think it would be the consistency in my photos. So I think it's really important.
Thank you. This is the best tip you can give anyone, because it is true. And even if you think of it, if you go to Amazon or a different store and you start scrolling through pictures, even in Instagram, and you are going to try to pay attention and purchase the stuff which look really nice and are bright colors.
100%. Yeah.
So why should we do different? That's what it is. Why should we?
Yeah. And, I've noticed with myself when I purchase things, if I hear something on TV or I see something online or someone tells me something, I immediately go to all of their sites. I go to their website, I'll go to their Instagram, and I find it, quite important, but I'm also very much about buying local and buying small and that kind of stuff. So for me, also, because I know the back end of it, it doesn't mean any, I shouldn't say it doesn't mean anything, but like, it doesn't mean that like it's a lesser product if they don't have amazing photos. But I do think that, photos really tell a story, you know, and it's really important to have even just the consistency, but the brightness, the light. Yeah. The light.
Yes. And then, friends, I will help you. Don't worry. You just DM me, come join PetPix, get all of my free sources and etc. You can learn a lot. And the idea is that we have the tools. It's the brightness, and again, I also believe support small businesses is just so amazing. I'm a small business for my, we need to help each other. But the idea and a lot of times what it's that we don't even realize why we like it or dislike it. It's the way our brain works. That's actually the mindset of a prosumer. And that's the mindset, even the brands, when they send you something, they're looking for pictures. Even how you look at your own baby's picture is just the way your brain tells you, do you like it or not? Yes or no? Very simple and simplicity.
It's very interesting that you said that, because I was thinking we're going to be launching a new campaign soon, and I don't want to talk too much about it, but it is going to be for clients that we already have existing clients, and we are going to be looking for them to submit photos. And so we have a really clear idea of what we're looking for, and in those photos, we want it to be very bright, but very basic, beige, cream background, something light and bright, but, nothing else in the background, and just really focused, kind of like having that point of focus. So I don't know if that's something that you teach, or like just, but having that point of focus. I know that a lot of, like, I don't use it on my iPhone, but I know there's that little square that comes up. So is that something that you use, or that I should be using?
I would use it if you have the time. I would use it. And friends, just to say before, if you like to, maybe be considered, check out, submit your picture, or keep an eye. Also, whatever else as Pet Pics can help you with this adventure, just let us know. We are here for you. And yes, I would suggest try to point practically to focus on the eyes. Typically, eyes is the best place to focus on. And again, when your babies are moving so fast, you don't really have the time to do it. But if you have the opportunity to do so, I would definitely encourage you, to try. And then again, overall, your pictures will be small, so it's not the end of the world. But if I'm printing 30 by 40 or bigger, I would like the eyes to be sharp. That's the key.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Can you actually talk about that a bit more? What would be your number one suggestion for doing, like, I would like to have something blown up really big. How do we get the best kind of photo, or the best quality of photo, when we're looking to have a photo blown up to 30 by 40?
Look at the size of the pictures. So I would import them I will bring them to your computer, and when you press with the right button of your mouse, look at the size. You want to have at least 2 to 4, 5 megabytes.
Okay.
File. You want to be big. The DPIs, which is the dots, they need to be at least 240 and up. So you have really high quality. And even if you like for me to check some of the pictures after you pick them, I would love to help as well. And just zoom in and look at the eyes and consider the texture you're going to print it on. Because if you print it on a canvas, it will be more forgivable. But if you print it on a paper and sometimes on metal or acrylic, it could be a different story. So we really have to. And then because if sometimes as we print on a vinyl, for like your stuff, so you have to be aware of what you're going to print it on and the size. But the DPIs and the size, and this is a last suggestion for you, friends. And sometimes, I'm sorry, we keep our episodes. I try to keep them short, but there is so many good we can talk about. I just can't. But the last tip: try to submit to brands pictures via email. You can message them, DM them, but email them. And when you email them, keep the highest size possible. Keep in mind that the email accepts, depending on what type of email you have, 15 to 20 megabytes max. So some phone pictures, they could be 2 to 5 or, megabytes. So which means how many pictures? 3 pictures. So maybe send 2 emails. And just keep this in mind, because I cannot tell you how many times people were submitting pictures and they're like, Vasi, we want to submit for this contest. And I'm like, well, but this picture, it's 145. How about I said it right? I just did. A client of mine sent me a cell phone picture and I created an art piece. And even any of you, if you ever need me to work on any of your pictures and create an art piece and printed it for US, for abroad, I can just send you the digital picture. And I created from 145 kbytes a wall art piece. I can do it. I have done from a cell phone picture of a celebrities with clients of mine, 20 by 30. I have done it, but it's a lot of work, and techniques. So you don't want to go through this. So try to email the larger size picture, and try to don't crop it in so much. Try to take it a little tight, but to have room around the picture, and don't crop it too tight, too much, because every time you crop a pictures, you're actually losing the resolution. So if it's reasonable, it's fine. But sometimes if you crop 80% of the picture, so you lost a lot of resolution if you want to print a larger piece for marketing purposes.
And I would agree is please send photos via email. It's great to message companies on Instagram and stuff, and it's great to even do both as well. But definitely if you're sending photos, I know personally I love to get them in email, and then we can just really keep everything together in your own folder. Things get very lost on Instagram. There's tons of messages coming through every day, and yeah, so definitely send them by email.
So I think we talked about so many good things, friends. I really hope this was a very joyful episode, my friend. Just make sure you support Daisy, go to Snuggit account, and etc. Just again, sharing is caring, share with your friends. And I'm so excited because I personally will be telling my local clients about you, and hopefully we're going to have you back. I can't wait. So again, where people can find you?
So we are online at thesnuggit.com. We are in multiple retail locations across Canada. I know a lot of your listeners are really worldwide. So
yes.
We ship worldwide. So we just shipped to South Africa, and we ship tons to the UK. So really wherever you are, send me a message. You can DM us on Instagram, Facebook, and then you can send an email to thesnuggit at gmail.com. But our website is so awesome, and we're just super obsessed with our photos right now because they're so cute. So if you're looking for cute dog photos and you want to check out some great products, thesnuggit.com is where you find us.
That's wonderful. So thank you so much again. All the information will be below episode. So make sure again, share with your friends. And thank you, friends, for being with us today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'm sure you learn a lot, because if I was you, I would learn. Again, I'm joking. I wish I had Vasi when I started in my career. It wouldn't take me 9 and change years. It's just so awesome. And I would even encourage you, maybe re-listen this episode, because it's quite a bit of information. And again, please share with your friends about our podcast, because it's a lot of fun and we learn a lot. So thank you very much, friends. Enjoy the rest of your day. This is Vasi from Pet Pics Academy, and I cannot wait till our next episode. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope that you had fun, but the most important is that you learned some new tips and tricks and you are going to apply them. I cannot wait to hear about your successes. So please download our episode, of course subscribe, and please help us, leave us a review. Also, if you really think that this is one of a kind show, because I know that it is, please don't forget to share with your friends about us. Follow us in our social media platform. You can find the links below. It's simple. It's Pet Pics Academy. And if you like, join us in our live trainings on Facebook every Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Time. And together we are going to have fun, learn, and don't forget to check out our website as well and learn more about our courses. See you soon!